putting yourself first is a necessity. It is the time where you get to replenish yourselves. As women, we give. It's in our nature to be giving, to be kind, to help other people before we help ourselves, with the idea that at some point they'll give us that back. But that's not really how life works, right? Like, that's not really how the world works. Instead, we've got to switch this up and switch into, if I replenish myself, if I give myself time to feel good, if I give myself time for my self-care routine, for my self-love routine, then I show up better in the world. I show up in a better mood. I show up feeling more refreshed. I show up feeling just so much happier and more joy, and not feeling stressed or overworked, or I've done too much, or I've got to the point that I've now got burnout, or I've pushed myself and pushed myself and pushed myself, and now I've crashed and burned, right? How many times has that happened in your life where you've just done too much and you're feeling exhausted, and then you get resentful, then you get frustrated, then you get really annoyed with people and annoyed about the smallest things too, and frustrated about the small things, and we snap and we get really like aggravated, and we blow up, and it's all because we didn't take a little bit of time for ourselves. I'd always recommend doing that on a daily basis. I think I'm going to start with that. If you take time every single day, just a small amount of time, it will help you feel better about yourself. Your self-worth will improve. Your self-esteem will go up. You'll feel more relaxed, more aligned, more in tune with who you are. And then you show up in the world in a much brighter way, in a much more energized light. And you're able then to show those people around you that they can do the same. And human beings learn from each other. We copy. We see somebody doing it and we do the same behavior. It's mirroring. It's just what we do. It's nature of the human. So if you can show up in your life, showing people that you take time for yourself, and when you take that time for yourself, you appear better, other people will do the same, and it ends up being a selfless behavior and a selfless act, really. So get out of feeling selfish or feeling guilty because you've had time for yourself. And I think the biggest thing with women when we think about time for ourselves is we think it's got to be a whole day, and that then we're robbing from somebody else. But actually, if we just took half an hour out of our day in the morning, say it's a weekend, let's do a weekend. We took half an hour out and we just rested, or we just took longer to get out of bed, and we meandered and we dawdled, and we just took it super femininely soft and easy. Those activities we would do that day would be more productive because we will show up better for them, and they won't always feel like a chore because you've done something in that morning for yourself. I know this probably sounds a little wishy-washy, but it honestly works. Honestly, I've recently been away and I had, I was snowboarding for the first time, and I twisted my knees snowboarding. I didn't just twist it one time, I twisted it twice in one session. And I remember doing it the first time being like, ooh, that's not where my knee's supposed to be. It's okay, I'll carry on. The second time, oh, I'm going to pay for that tonight. I'm going to pay for that tonight. I went back to the hotel, and the next day I was supposed to have more training, one-to-one sessions and stuff. And I realised that my knee was starting to seize up. It wasn't to the point that it was unbearable on the scale, but it definitely wasn't okay. I was somewhere in the middle. Normally I would be like, nope, soldier on, gotta do this because it's selfish to take time for myself. I'm in these classes, and you know, I've got tuition, group tuition, I've got private tuition. It's selfish to take time for myself. And I said to my partner, I'm taking the day off tomorrow. I'm taking the day off and I'm going to the spa. And that is exactly what I did. I spent the day in the hot spa in the hotel, which was amazing. My knee felt better by the end of the day. Incredible. I did feel a bit like, am I allowed to do this? Is this not selfish? I'm putting myself above everyone else, and I put myself above my one-to-one lesson. Now, you know, I've cancelled my one-to-one lesson, and you do get a bit the guilt. The next day, I woke up raring to go, got dressed, had breakfast, did some stretches, and then I did the ultimate test to make sure my knee was okay, to crouch down to the floor, sit on the floor and try and get up. I could crouch down the floor, barely could I sit on the floor, and I absolutely could not get back up off the floor using my knees. Could not do it. But it wasn't to the point again that it was a total write-off. I could have, you know, this is me. I don't know if this is a British thing or a female thing really, but I could just roll to the side and get up, right? But I thought, but I'm even stopping myself trying to say this to you because it's a selfish thing. It would be deemed a selfish act, in that I knew in that instance I needed another day. Actually, I was probably only like 50 to 60% better, and normally I would race back to something like that. At this point, I said, no, I'm going to have another day off. I'm going to do 2 days off in a row. And I remember it being a bit, oh, you're taking 2 days off. The reactions of others, oh, you're taking 2 days? 2 to yourself? You know, like, it does happen. Anyway, so I did a second day and I did the spa, and I felt so much better after that second day, 2 days off, that I then went back for the following 2 days and did my sessions then. And I felt so much better about myself. I listened to my body, I listened to my intuition, and I tapped into it. And yes, it's probably deemed as selfish by other people, but hell, you know what? It meant that my body was okay. It meant that I didn't have an injury. It meant that I was able to then come back home and show up for my family. I drive my car, right? Look after myself, be independent. Had I gone on, I could have hurt myself more and caused a ricochet effect. So being that selfish and taking time for myself and allowing myself to rest up, take it easy, meant that I could show up for everybody else. Shows other people that put yourself first, put your body first. If there's a problem, take time out. Don't rush and be quick to say yes to everything, to keep going because you've got something planned. It's okay to reschedule. It's okay to change plans if you know you're not in the right mental space, physical space, emotional space. I've mentioned before, a long time ago I had an accident, and emotionally I was on a mountain bike. I was not in the right space emotionally at all. I was younger then, but I didn't listen. And I thought it was selfish to stop and to cancel plans. And you're deemed as not the nice girl, and that, you know, that's not a nice person. But if we could just move into this idea of taking time for ourselves is an act of love, is an act of care, and it is not selfish, our whole world changes. Our whole world, it ricochets this out around us, and it starts implementing and it starts affecting other people in that they feel, oh, because Joanne does it, oh, she's doing it, oh, it's okay. You know what I mean? And you start becoming a leader and a model to other people. So please don't think that taking time for yourself is selfish. It's needed. It's needed so you can show up as the real authentic you in this life. It's needed so that you can make the good decisions, the best decisions for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your colleagues, whatever it might be in your life and what it looks like. It stops things happening. It stops things like a woman when I was snowboarding didn't want to be there, and she broke her wrist because her boyfriend, her partner wanted her to be there. She didn't, and she didn't want to appear selfish. She wanted to take time for herself and do other things. Instead, she did it for him, and it led to that. So yeah, I know I've gone around the houses on this, but just allow yourself to say yes to you and no to other things more often. When we can move into that, our worlds change. We change. We love ourselves more. We have space. We have time to think, and we can end up giving more. We're able to give more to others easier without feeling resentful because I'm having to do that again for you and I've not had any time for myself. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If this sounds like something you really want to do and you want to go further with this, I've got my free self-discovery guide available for you. If you would like to go and grab it, I'll put a link down below in the description box, and I'll pop it in the comments as well. You can go and get it. This is going to help you see where in your life you could be doing more, taking more power, tapping into your intuition and living a life that is more authentically you, and learning to trust that voice within, because it is so important to living a life that you want to live. Go and grab it now. I'll put it in the description box below. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and liking this video. My name is Joanne Moore, and I'll catch you all in the next video.